Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Sherry Moyes here. Excited to be connecting with you today for our next live in the series. And this month we are focused on, in the Facebook group and in general, on this idea of the sixth house of astrology and I serve. And so today I want to kind of bring a lot of the pieces we've been talking about together and talk about this idea of how we show up in service and serve in our business without sacrificing our own well-being, because entrepreneurs have the highest rate of burnout of any occupation there is. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We'll talk a little bit about that today. But if you are watching me live, make sure that you give StreamYard permission so that I can see your comments. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, would love to know your thoughts as we wander through this really, really important topic. One of the things that I am super passionate about, and if you haven't heard me say it once, you'll hear me say it a million times, that a thriving business requires a nourished and happy you. And when we are showing up in service, we need to be able to manage that energy so that we are thriving and our business is thriving. All right, so there's a lot of things we've been talking about in terms of, navigating your energy and being able to have that thriving business. So if we overserve, if we don't have really great boundaries, then if we're giving more than we receive, we can be exhausted, burned out, and overwhelmed. And so I can share with you my own story. I think one of the biggest things, and the reason why burnout is so high, and exhaustion and overwhelm and all the things in entrepreneurship, is because at the end of the day, it's just you, potentially. Now, you may have staff, you may have brought in some support, maybe a part-time VA or what have you, but still there's this idea that the business is you. And after leaving corporate, where for all of my life and career I had worked for other people, this idea that it was all me, that it was just the buck stopped here, right? That there was no one else to point a finger at, to blame, to take responsibility, that at the end of the day, it was all me. That really required some focus and attention on my part to embrace that and not be afraid of it, not get worried that, all my little fears and insecurities coming up, that not enoughness or any of those things, when it's like you are your business. So being in awareness of that energy is really important. And what I see so often, especially with beginning people in the early journey of entrepreneurship, especially for healers and alternative practitioners, is that they undervalue themselves and what they have to offer. And what does this do when we're undervaluing ourselves? We can create this really unintended consequence of putting yourself in the energy of overdoing. And then you're overdoing on one hand and you're under receiving on the other. And so eventually this creates that exhaustion, that overwhelm, and oftentimes even resentment. Like, here I am putting in all this time and energy, and what do I have to show for it? And resentment itself is a drain on our energy. So both standpoints, receiving and clients and money, we can give too much of ourselves, and then we won't even be available for our clients in the way that we want to. If we're giving so much extra time and energy, it's just not a sustainable model. So, big question, how do you show up in service? How do you do it in a way that doesn't sacrifice your own well-being? All right, I got three points here that I think are really valuable for you to consider and put some attention towards. First one is and again, this is probably one of those Sherry harps on things, but it's really important. You need to understand your own value and not get into comparisonitis. Really embracing the idea and the understanding. It's not even an idea, it's truth. That if you paint people's houses, you're transforming their house, but you're not exactly creating a personal transformation. But the majority of you in the work that you do, you are creating a transformation in someone's life. And to put a value on that is almost impossible. So the first step in setting up your business so that you can thrive and your clients will receive the highest and best from you is to really learn to stand in your value. And we do that in a lot of different ways, owning your uniqueness, understanding how you're uniquely you. You're not just another Reiki practitioner. You're not just another tarot reader. You're you. And you bring your energy and your gifts to that connection with that client. And it is powerful. So when we can show up in service, we do it at our best when we're standing in our value. Number 2, boundaries. I should just post all these up here. But so number 2, having really clear boundaries with your clients. I am a caretaker and I want to make sure everybody has what they need and everybody is well taken care of. But at the end of the day, over time, when I didn't have really good boundaries in my personal and my professional life, it was exhausting. So setting up those boundaries from the get-go. What can a client expect from you in between sessions? When are you available? Honoring your own energy so that you can set up that flow for yourself, that communication flow with your clients that has you feeling like you are in service, yet you're not getting drained. We don't need to be available at all hours of the day, but if for our clients, we can set those expectations up front, and it will really allow you to maintain your energy and ensure you're thriving and getting your needs met while your clients are feeling really well supported. So set those expectations, have really clear boundaries. Number 3, so understanding your unique design, because each of us is wired to show up in a different way, and we each have our own energetic flow. So understanding how your energy contracts and expands, understanding what your need for downtime is, understanding how to fill your own cup, what that looks like for you, and it is uniquely you. That will, help you to maintain your energy. And it's everything from your schedule to how many clients you see, how often. We need to set up our business to match our own unique design. That will figure out our ebb and flow, and then you can add in your self-care. You got your practices. You set up your schedule in a way that honors that, right? And I think I've told this story a number of times, but it bears repeating. For a time early on, I shared an office with my teacher and mentor. And she would see on average, the day she was in the office, like 6 to 8 clients, back to back to back, 50-minute sessions, boom, 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 boom. I was just exhausted looking at her schedule. We shared a calendar so I could see it. I saw it. And I didn't understand. I just never knew how she could sustain that energy, that flow. And if I did 2 clients, back to back, I was feeling depleted. So I learned I needed to space my calendar. I needed to have time in between to re-energize myself, to take a walk, whatever it was that I needed, so that I could really maintain my energy. The more my energy is maintained, the more I'm available to really be present for my clients. So I did see her not that long ago, and she had actually come to a place where she was really standing in her value, and she wasn't in this scarcity mindset, that she had to only charge a certain amount and do all the things. And so she was seeing less clients and making more money than she had been before. So, it's very interesting. So here's the bottom line that I want to share with you and make sure that you are present to, is that we can create a container for our clients where they feel really supported and where we can assist them in making that transformation that they desire without having to sacrifice our own well-being and lifestyle in order to do it. It requires awareness so that you're really making conscious choices, as you're building your business and growing your business, so you don't end up in this spiral of overdoing and then end up exhausted and burnt out. Because then you're no good to anybody. And we need you doing your work in the world. It's so important. And you have gifts to offer. And so being able to set yourself up for success sets your clients up for success. So let me do a quick recap. Number one, understand and own your value. Number two, have really good, clear boundaries in place for yourself. Know what those are with your clients, etc. And then number three, understand your unique design. Know how you need to set up your schedule. Know how you are designed to work with people so that you can truly set your business up so that it honors your energetic blueprint, and it will then honor your clients as well, because you'll be able to show up in service without sacrificing your time, your energy, and your well-being, which is super important. All right, well, I would love to know which one of these areas you feel like you've got nailed, which one of these areas you might need to put some attention to, and we'll keep having this conversation. I want to keep bringing this to the forefront because it's so, so important. All right, my friends, I am wanting to remind you, as always, that all it takes is a little bit of heart power, and that's what keeps things flowing. Tapping into that knowing, tapping into your inner wisdom, and honoring and owning your uniqueness. So any questions, let me know. We'll be back next week, and we'll be maybe embarking on the next phase in the journey. I don't know if we'll change directions next week with our theme. We'll see. But excited to be here with you and share with you as usual, and wishing you a beautiful rest of your day and week, and celebrating that we are on the other side. We're in Mercury retrograde shadow, or we will be shortly. So if that's been a challenge for you, know that that's coming to an end. But step into your service without sacrifice, knowing that you can thrive alongside your clients. That's what's most important. All right, my friends, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.